Back with us on the SportsMax zone. The Jamaica Football Federation, JFF, has apologized for the foul-up which led to the Reggae Girlz being stranded at the IAH airport in Houston, Texas on Monday as they made their way back home from Mexico. The Reggae Girlz had played in the CONCACAF Women's Championship where they sealed qualification to the 2023 FIFA World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. The team also qualified for a playoff against Canada in September next year, with the winner making it through to the 2024 Paris Olympics. Now, star striker Khadija Bunishaw had posted a story to her Instagram account claiming the team was left stranded after the JFF failed to pay for the luggage and equipment they were taking back to Jamaica. This is the post. Now, the JFF responded to this post. So this is the Twitter post from Khadija Bunishaw, and then the JFF later apologized on Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, this came days after, perhaps maybe just over 24 hours after, and it is intended by the JFF for this to repair the situation.
Yeah, and I did read the apology. I know you're going to get the exact apology for us now. I read the apology and whatnot, and to be honest, I couldn't. You know how whenever people issue an apology, the first thing that you try to decipher is whether it's sincere or not. And one way that I tend to do that is to ensure that it isn't repeated numerous times. Like, you can't keep doing me the same thing and then expect me to genuinely think that you are sorry. Then it doesn't really work like that. But based on what we saw from the JFF's apology, you know, some of the things they said is that, you know, based on how the woman has been doing, you know, qualification for the FIFA World Cup, the way that they've been carrying out their duties, this is, you know, a situation that they wish did not occur. And of course, Lance, they would like to hope that moving forward, that this doesn't happen. I'm hoping, George and Lance, that, you know, this doesn't continue because it just doesn't look good. All right, so joining us now, we have the JFF president, Michael Ricketts. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam, and of course, good afternoon, gentlemen, and of course, good afternoon to all your listeners.
Yeah, we're happy that you could have joined us. I'm going to start by asking you, you know, the latest information that we have at hand is that there has been an apology. How has that apology been received? Have you been in contact with any of the girls or just members of the team, management, and whatnot?
Well, no, not yet. I expect to speak with the coach later on. But it was just done on.
Mr. President, the fact that the woman would have qualified for the World Cup, you know, gone through these things, and just as of recently, we've been talking about a similar situation with the men, right? How do you plan to ensure that these things do not repeat? Because I feel as if this has become a point of discussion and an issue over and over.
What we really plan to do is to sit with our travel agent and really have a discussion with them. Of course,
I think we're having some problems with the audio with the JFF president, Michael. Let's try to call, Mr. President, let's try to reconnect with you so we can clean up the connection. Let's just try to reconnect with you, Mr. President.
I'm hearing you clearly.
You're here? Okay, carry on, yes.
I'm hearing you clearly, yes. So I was saying that one way that we could really try to have this corrected is to sit with our travel agent and have a fulsome discussion with them, because the issues we have had are most times having to do with our travel arrangements. This time, I think, in fact, I could give some explanation to what really happened the last time in Suriname, and probably you would understand what would have happened. So too this time. I'm just going to take a few minutes to try.
Yes, I'm keen to hear what happened. So yes, go ahead with that.
We spent in excess of 30 days on this World Cup campaign. And when we were actually coming to Jamaica, there were only 10 persons traveling to Jamaica. We would have accumulated close to 40 pieces of luggage. When we got to Monterey, the head of delegation paid for every single piece of luggage using the...
We lost you again. Mr. Ricketts, are you hearing us? All right, let's call him back. Let's call the JFF president back because I think we need to know what happened, what led to that breakdown, and he was contrasting it with what happened in Suriname.
Yeah.
So we can piece it all together. But well, I can say that one of the good things that they've done in this instance is that, as simple as it may seem, the girls made the complaint about the luggage and being stranded on Instagram. They apologized on the same medium. So, I mean, they could have issued a paper press release in the traditional way, but they sought to speak to the same audience to which the girls had complained, and I thought that was common sense at work for the JFF. You see, I'm trying to not make everything seem bad for the JFF, because I know it bothers me that so often we talk about the JFF and it's in a negative light, and I want to be able to speak positively about the federation.
This has become so much of an issue. Like, there are so many great things happening in the football, and let's just narrow it down to the ladies right now, right? Because they've been in competition, they've been doing very well. I want to come on this show and celebrate that. I want to talk about how great Khadija was, Drew Spence. I don't need to be speaking about the issues.
President, are you back? Are you hearing us now?
Yes, I am back.
Right. You were giving us an explanation, giving us a timeline of events. You're stitching the story together. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I was trying to explain what happened with the return from Mexico. And like I said, we went to Monterrey. Some were actually booked through Dallas, and some were booked straight to Miami. Some were booked through Houston. The head of delegation used the credit card and paid for every piece to be shipped straight to Kingston. He, however, gave the card to the JFF employee who was going with that small group to Houston. When, in fact, Coach Gilbert, picked up his pieces in Dallas, or rather in Houston, while the other pieces, they had to recheck and to repay for those pieces. I went to Dallas, I picked up my piece, reshipped it straight to Kingston. I had no issues. Unfortunately, some pieces in Houston, they had to pick up, I really don't know why, and repay. When Mrs. Gray used the credit card, the explanation was that the card had expired its amount and it was declined. So 2 employees decided, the equipment manager and Miss Gray decided that they would stay over. Within the next 24 hours, the card would again be eligible for use. So all they did was to stay over, and the following morning they used the card and came home the following day. There were 3 players there, only 3 players. All the other 20 players had no issues. The players came home, 2 staff members stayed back and came home the following day when the card had become useful again. So that's exactly what happened. And again, I'm saying that we just very, 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 very sorry. After doing so well, we just thought that we never needed to have this kind of a negative happening.
So President, President, all right, I take that. I hear you. So when you say that all the pieces of luggage that were to be shipped, all the pieces of luggage and equipment that were to be shipped back were paid for, but then you found out that going through 3 different ports to get to Jamaica, that some had to be rechecked and paid for again.
In Houston,
So that means we lost some money then, because the original payment would have been invalidated by the rules at the other airports. So even if you say you had paid for it already, you had to pay for it again, which means that we lost some money there.
We certainly will ask our travel agent to check to see the validity of what happened there. And we have already asked them to do so.
But Mr. President, you see, and then the unfortunate thing for you is that everything that goes wrong, people blame you. And I wouldn't imagine that you'd be responsible for logistics. But this is logistics, Mr. President. You are a man who has flown, you've traveled very regular, as Oliver Samuel said in his play famously years ago.
Yeah,
you know how these things work. If you're going from Mexico back into, well, you're still in North America, you're going through the United States through different airports, you would have known where it is that you'd have needed to pay for your luggage.
No, Lance. No, George.
How?
It's unfair. It's unfair for you to say that.
How so?
Because I am saying that Xavier Gilbert picked up his pieces in Houston.
Yes.
He was with the group, and he picked up his pieces and reshipped them without any cost.
No, but
Gilbert was part of that group.
No, but I'm not saying anything different from what you're saying, you know. Hold on.
Why?
President, I'm not saying anything different from what you're saying. I'm just saying you would know the rules at the different airports that you go through. Don't forget, we work with the biggest TV production company in the Caribbean. We travel with equipment, cameras, tripods, everything, lights all the time. We know when we're leaving wherever to move to wherever, which airport we're going to be need to make a payment.
No, Charles, but obviously you don't understand what happened.
Yes.
Because two scenarios at the same airport, two totally opposite scenarios at the same airport.
Yeah.
Gilbert checked in his pieces and he never had to pay.
This is at Houston or Dallas?
In Houston.
Yes. So you're saying, hold on, we're clarifying the story as we go along. Hold on, we're clarifying the story as we go along. So you're saying that some people who went through IAH in Houston went through seamlessly with their luggage, while others were told that they had to pay for them again.
Xavier Gilbert did.
Yes, and you're saying that while he went through seamlessly, other people had to pay for their luggage again at the same airport.
At the same airport, yeah.
But again, so you're saying to me, what you're saying, you know, is that the mix-up couldn't have been avoided. And all I'm saying is that the person who you have in charge of logistics, Mr. President, could have saved you money, saved you time. We could have been talking about the successful World Cup campaign in this interview, but we're talking about the foul-up.
Why aren't we not speaking about that?
No, because, Mr. President, our girls brought us to the fact that after this successful mission, here we are at a logjam at the airport. You found it necessary to apologize for that. So it was a big issue, because if it wasn't a big issue, you wouldn't have apologized. So I'm just saying that it is a real issue. Go again?
There were only 3 players there now, 23, you know.
Yeah, but those are still 3
players.
Those are still 3 players.
We think that they might have been inconvenient. Hence
yes.
The apology.
Yes, but
I really think that,
Mr. President.
And I tell you, football gets so much battering.
Mr. President.
Football, I really wonder if this would have happened to another sporting entity.
Mr. President.
If it would have gotten such
Mr. President, you would agree that one player stranded is one player too many. You said 3. It wasn't 20, it wasn't 15.
No player was stranded. The players came home on the same flight.
3. You said 3 people were affected by the foul.
3 players.
Right,
yeah,
3
but nobody was stranded. Everybody came home on the same flight.
I'm saying.
And everybody got to Kingston at the same time.
But you see, this is why it was necessary to speak to you, because from your apology, Mr. President, and the text of your apology, it would suggest that the claim by our top player, Shaw, that the players had been stranded, that's what you were apologizing for, because
no
player
was stranded. The players came in on the same
Mr.
flight.
President, hold on. Don't fight with me on the issue. Let's have the conversation as we have been. I'm saying to you, the claim from your star striker was that players stranded, luggage not paid for. Your office issued an apology for the situation. You did not say in the apology that while we apologize, we just want to clarify that no player was stranded. You are now telling our audience this now, and we appreciate you saying this now. But you would accept that would have been the idea that would have carried, because that's what the players claimed, and you did not rebut that in your apology.
No, we don't really have to.
But you're clarifying it now, and we appreciate that. So that's why we're having this conversation.
No player was stranded. The players came home on the same flight.
Excellent, because we didn't know that before today. We didn't know that before today.
No, they came on the same flight. We all got into Kingston on the same flight.
But that is what I'm saying to you.
2 staff members choose to stay back.
Yes. So I'm saying to you again, are you saying that the logistical arrangements were such that we could not have avoided the situation?
I am sure we could have.
There you go. That's where I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I even exonerated you, because I said that as president, this isn't your. This is not your job to take care of this thing.
George, if something went wrong,
yes,
then there must be some corrective measure. Must.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter what. If something went wrong,
yes, then
obviously something wrong caused something to have gone wrong.
But Mr. President, you can't at one time be accepting responsibility for what has gone wrong, vow to meet with the travel agency to iron out the problems to ensure you don't have them again, and then at the same time appear as if nothing is wrong with the situation. So you've admitted that something is wrong and that you're going to fix it. That's fine. But, I don't understand why you're agreeing that something is wrong that needs to be fixed and then railing at the fact that something is wrong and needs to be fixed.
George, I honestly don't understand. I think you're being unreasonable. You're being unreasonable.
No, you know what? Because you're used to me. You're used to me appearing to be unreasonable. I'm not being unreasonable. No, I'm working it out with you. I'm working it through with you to say that this is what happened. You gave us a timeline. You told us precisely what happened. We're taking you at your word. You've said how you are going to have meetings to fix it. You've clarified a very important point. The point that angered people was the claim in the post that people were stranded. You're saying, no, man, nobody was stranded. They all came home. And I'm saying to you that's information we didn't have before, and I'm thanking you for that information. But I'm saying to you that while I respect you coming out and clarifying the situation, you can't clarify the situation and then make it seem as if there was no situation to clarify. So I don't know what you don't understand in that. That's all I'm saying. So it is good, Mr. President, that you've come to put clarity on the matter and that you vowed to meet with those who have charge of these logistical arrangements so that we don't have to use time to be talking about things like these anymore. We'll be talking about the football and the administration thereof. Is that unfair?
I think we've lost him, George.
You think you've lost him? Well, there you go, the line. But you see the point I'm making? The president comes and he accepts that, yeah, there was a problem. The apology is there on record. I'm sorry we didn't have the graphic. Yes. Then he says that we will meet with those who are responsible for this thing so that we can iron out the kinks. And then at the same time, you are saying that, boy, there was nothing. We're making a mountain out of a molehill. There's no issue. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think the issue here, George, is that he is behaving in a way that suggests that he is insensitive to the fact that people are disgruntled about the overall efficiency of the Jamaica Football Federation. Because here he is 10 minutes ago wondering why we aren't celebrating the success of the team instead of focusing on the issues that happened at the airport. And if he is connected to how the Jamaican people feel about their football, he would understand very clearly why that is being talked about just as much or even more than the team's qualification for the World Cup.
Here, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown.
Yeah.
These are the pressures of being federation head. Everything that goes wrong will be pointed at your door, at your feet. And in leadership positions, you have to deal with situations like this. Yeah. Simple as that.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and to click the notification bell to stay informed.